Dr. Cam, and today we're going to talk about a tough topic, suicide and the threat of suicide. And the reason that I would like to talk about this topic today is this morning or yesterday, a friend of mine gave me a call and was a bit upset because her daughter's friend had texted her and said, I don't want to live anymore. I feel like I'm a waste of space. No one cares about me. And she was worried about what do we do? How should we handle this? And we we get these in these situations a lot where, unfortunately, a lot where either someone we know or our own kid may say, I'm going to kill myself, or I don't want to live anymore, or anything where they're threatening suicide. And our initial reaction, there's a couple ways we may react to this. We kind of go into our fight, flight, or freeze mode, one of these. And many of us will go into this freeze mode of, oh my God, what do I do? We get sheer panic because this is terrifying. We don't want our kids to hurt ourselves. Some people will go into kind of this flight mode where they deny it and they either see, oh, they're just joking, they're not really going to do that, or they're just trying to get attention and being dramatic. This is a big one. A lot of people will think, oh, they're just being dramatic. If they've been fighting a lot and the teen says, I'm going to kill myself, they're like, whatever, and they'll ignore it because they don't want to encourage that type of behavior because they feel it's being manipulative. Or we fight and we try to talk them out of it, saying, well, that's just silly, or you don't have this isn't, your life is too good, you don't want to ruin it, you don't want to lose it, you don't want to do that, or come on, other people's lives are far worse than this, and we try to talk them out of it. And there's really three reasons why kids will tell us that they want to kill themselves. The first reason why is they're serious. They're really hurting. They feel hopeless. They don't know what else to do. They may be bullied. They may feel like no one cares about them. There's a lot, or they may be clinically depressed. There's a lot of reasons why they're actually very serious. In fact, 50 to 75% of kids that have attempted suicide have actually told somebody ahead of time their intention. So one of the reasons kids are saying this is because they mean it. Another reason kids will say, I want to kill myself, is they're testing us. They may feel that we don't really care. And so they're pushing it to the limit to see how you're going to react. Are you going to show your care? Are you going to confirm that you don't really care? So a lot of times it's a test. And the third reason why kids will threaten to kill themselves is because they're using it to manipulate us. They're using it to scare. It's a scare tactic because they're not getting what they want. Now, a lot of parents will think that that's why their kids are doing it. They're manipulating me. And the typical reaction, if you believe that your kids are manipulating you using this, is to either ignore it until it goes away, hoping that if they don't reward that behavior, it will end, or they will say, I'm just going to shut it down and say, you're just being silly. Even if you are 99.9% sure that your teen is using it to manipulate, I would not want to risk that 0.1% that they're not. So here's the thing. No matter what the reason is, that your kid is saying, I'm going to kill myself or I don't want to live, the first thing you want to do is take it seriously. Seriously. Take it seriously. We never want to ignore something that could be so serious. We don't want that percent a chance that they're being serious. We don't want to miss that. So we want to take it seriously. So what do we do? And we're going to cover all three possible reasons that they could be saying this. What do we do? The first thing is stay calm. I know this is really hard because we're going instinct, fight, flight, freeze. But we need to stay calm in this situation. If we start to panic or we get angry or we get into any of these emotions, we're just going to exacerbate the problem. So we need to remain calm. The next thing you want to do is actually talk to your kids. And a lot of people are afraid that if they bring up the word suicide or kill yourself, or they ask questions, that they're actually going to be encouraging it or making it worse. But the fact is, we need to be very open and frank if kids are talking about this. So instead of just saying why, one thing that actually helps is to say, please help me understand why you feel that way. So this takes some of the pressure off of just the big why. It also shows that you're trying to understand where they're coming from. And whether your kids are 100% serious, whether they're testing you, or whether they're trying to manipulate you, whatever the reason they're saying this, asking them to help you understand why is going to help you get more understanding on why they're saying this. You'll start understanding more the intention behind it. It's not going to hurt anything to understand that. So ask them why, and ask them if they have a plan. Again, this is not encouraging them to come up with a plan. You are asking them if they have a plan, because if they have a plan in place, that is a warning sign that they are very serious about this. Then what you want to do is you want to listen and empathize with them. Listen to why they are feeling this way. Look for their emotions. Look for their body language. Look for the truth behind it and empathize, saying, wow, you must be really hurting. You must be feeling really hopeless right now. Like there's no other way. If we say this and we're hearing them, we can help them work through some of this. If we try to shut it down and say, come on, that's not worth killing yourself. You don't want to do that. We love you. Don't do this. If you start telling them that they shouldn't feel this way, you're not going to talk them out of feeling that way. You're actually risking making them feel worse, because you're saying you shouldn't feel this way, but they do. They do feel this way. So if they shouldn't feel this way, then what's wrong with them? So listen to them and empathize with them. No matter what you think the reason behind it is, listen and empathize. Why is this important? If it's true, if they really are, they definitely need you to listen and empathize. If they are testing you, you now have the opportunity to pass that test and show them that you really care. And if they are manipulating you, you are giving them a chance to express their concerns. And why do they feel like they needed to resort to this to be heard? No matter what the reason is, saying I want to kill myself needs to be taken seriously, because there's a serious reason behind it. The final thing that you want to do in any of these situations is to get help. I would recommend calling the suicide hotline, which is 1-800-273-TALK, or 8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. Call them together. Again, if they're serious, you need to get help immediately. If they're testing you, this is showing you how serious this is and how seriously you will take this and how important they are to you, that you are going to make the effort to make sure that they're safe. And if they are manipulating you, they are going to see how serious this is and that you are going to take this seriously, rather than giving in and saying, "Oh my gosh, you're going to, okay, if you're going to say that, then fine, do it." Well, then they're going to continue to use that as a form of manipulation. But if you instead say, "I'm taking this, what you're saying, seriously, and we're going to call and get help," they're going to know that this form of manipulation is not going to work for that reason, to get their way. What it's going to do is trigger you to get them help and take it seriously. So always take it seriously. Do not write this off. Suicide is the second leading cause of teen death. Kids get in this point where they feel so hopeless. And as adults, we can get into this mode, but we have the ability to think more. We think long term, think logically. Teens don't have the same capacity to think long term. They don't have the experience behind them to know that things will pass and things will get better. They don't know that yet. There's not enough of their past and enough experience to show that. So in their mind, this may be the only way out. They don't see that it can get better. They also are so driven again by their emotions that they can overwhelm their logic, and they just feel their emotions are so big they don't know what else to do about them. So always, always take it seriously. Now, a lot of people will come to me and say, "Well, Dr. Cam, can you help me with my teen in this situation?" And the answer is yes and no. If your teen is chronically depressed, or if they are seriously considering suicide, you need professional clinical help with people that are trained specifically for dealing with depression and with suicide. And again, start with calling the suicide prevention hotline to get your help. Or if it is eminently serious, call 911. If your teen is at the point where they're testing you or they're using it for manipulation, that is something that I can help with. That's something where we get in on one-on-one conversations, one-on-one coaching, and we work through how do we improve our communication so A, your teen doesn't feel like they need to test you, or two, they don't feel like they have to resort to this to manipulate you. That you're having an open communication, an open conversation, and they don't feel like they need to resort to something this drastic to be heard or to try to get their way. That means that's a red flag that something in your relationship needs to be tended to and worked on. And that I can help with. Finally, I just want to express again, very clearly, that a lot of kids at this age are hurting, and they're expressing it in many different ways. I know far too many teens that have resorted to cutting to relieve pain, that have turned to drugs and alcohol to relieve pain, that have resorted to attempting to end their own life to calm their pain. The common thread through this is that there are a lot of teens that are hurting. We need to take it seriously, and we need to respond immediately, and we need to listen and empathize and validate that they're hurting. Even if you think it's not worth ending your lives, or you think it's not that big a deal, to them it is. And I don't know about you, but as a parent, even a 0.1% chance that what they're saying is true is too big of a risk for me. So I'm going to end one more time, leave that number with you one more time. If your child expresses any concern or hopeless sense of hopelessness or threatens to take their life, that number's 1-800-273-TALK or 8255. I know this was heavy, but this was something that actually happened this weekend. And I know particularly with a lot of kids stuck at home, they're starting to feel a little hopeless. And so we want to be very aware of this. I will be back tomorrow at 9:30 and we'll talk about something else. If you have any questions, please email them to me or send them in the comments. You can go to www.askdrcam.com and email me, or just put a comment in the comments below. And please, if you know anyone that has experienced this or concerned about this, please share this message with them. Either forward the video, forward this, or just tell them what you've learned. And if there's something that you've learned from this that is a key takeaway, write that in the notes below or in the comments below so people can see that, what kind of stuck out to you. I will talk to you again tomorrow morning. Have a beautiful, wonderful day.